You are in your 50s.
I'm 52.
No way.
Yeah.
And you are glowing in all of the ways. You've never done Botox.
No. I started to see big pigmentation patches on my skin. My hair was falling out. I was always tired. I was always bloated. There was something in me that was making me feel walking away from myself. I started incorporating really small changes. I started to do breath work, meditation, started to really see what was going inside my body, not just in terms of food, but also what I was consuming, the kind of people I was surrounded. I started to really take responsibility of how I was living. And within 6 months, I started to see the impact of it. Pro-aging is not about not looking your best. It's not about giving up on life. I feel like in today's day and age, we've gotten so disconnected with our own self. That's why it's so easy to fall into some ad that is selling an injectable, a laser. You don't even know what your skin requires right now.
So within 6 months, things started to reverse.
And I knew at that time it was all associated with.
Hello, Braid Table fam. Welcome to another episode of The Braid Table. I'm your host, Dr. Neeta, and this is your destination, your oasis to be all things just a little bit more brave in your actions, in your relationships, and in your life. And today, I'm so excited because we get to brave aging. And brave aging in a way where I'm bringing on somebody today who has never done Botox and who is literally redefining what we mean by not just pro-aging, but aging in a way where we are taking ownership and agency of our face, of our facial muscles. And so many women these days are exhausted. Now, exhausted from not just doing too much, but also performing too much. Performing beauty, performing all the beauty standards, performing wellness, performing our youth. Now, my guest today is known for redefining beauty standards. She is none other than Uma Ghosh. She is a global holistic beauty educator, entrepreneur, and founder of the Uma Show with over 2 decades of experience across media, wellness, and education. And after building a successful, wildly successful television career, her burnout led her toward nervous system regulation, embodiment, and radically different relationship with beauty and aging. Now today, her work sits at the intersection of science, ritual, and lived practice, challenging fear-based beauty culture and reminding us that, well, beauty isn't something to fix, but something to embody, something that we talk about so much here on the Braid Table. So this is going to be a powerful conversation. So buckle up. I know you're going to want to share this with a friend, a family member, maybe a bestie as well. So sit tight while we welcome Uma Ghosh to the Braid Table this week. Do you know what hot girl summer actually means to me? It's actually not the aesthetic. It's not the thirst traps. It's finally putting yourself back on your own priority list after months, maybe even years of pouring into everyone else. And look, we've all had quite the school year, and now it's ended. And guess what? I've created the most insanely delicious mocktails for your brain, focus, and clean energy. And yes, we're talking Tritonics. And we are officially non-GMO certified. It only took 6 months of my life and a lot of gray hairs to show for it. But we are ready to place all alcohol with functional cooling beverages that you can sip poolside daily with just 2 potent blends that are insanely good. It's our Focus Flow and our Rose Ritual Chai blends from Tritonics. And you'll want to be drinking these daily. And just know that your nervous system will be lit, supported, and ready for any kiddo meltdown with ease. I created Tritonics because I needed something that worked with my body, not against it. Adaptogens, Ayurvedic herbs, warming spices. Every single blend is designed to calm your nervous system, balance your hormones, and even activate you in the bedroom and give you that grounded, glowing energy from the inside out. No jitters, no crash, just you, your mug, and 5 minutes that are completely yours. Whether you're sipping it on the beach iced, before any sort of camp drop-off, or while you're traveling as the world spins, this is your hot girl summer ritual that you must try and maybe even bring it to your next bestie gathering. So use code BRAVESUMMER at checkout for 15% off your first order. Yes, these are the mocktails you are going to want to share with all your girlfriends because the hottest thing that you can do this summer is to come back to yourself. Okay, real talk for a second. Summer hits and we do all of the things, right? We eat cleaner, we move our bodies, we hydrate, we get outside. But here's one thing that most of us completely take for granted and actually might be causing you some foggy, sleepless nights, maybe feeling inflamed or sleeping badly when you're doing every single thing right. It's the air inside your home. And in the summer, it's actually worse. We think otherwise, but the windows are open, the pollen is pouring in, the AC is recirculating the dust, the particles, the mold in the air, and tracking everything from the inside because you have pets and kids, and your body is working overtime just to cope with what's floating in the air that you breathe every single day. I learned this the hard way after mold exposure that completely wrecked my nervous system and my energy and sleep for months. Once I understood what air quality was doing to my nervous system and that of my family's, I couldn't unknow it, which is why I use Jasper. It's a medical grade air scrubber, not your average air scrubber, folks. This is actually not a purifier because it works 5 times as hard. It removes 97% of airborne particles in just under an hour, and it runs quietly in the background of your home, that it actually becomes a sanctuary it's supposed to be. Look, you have a clearer head, deeper sleep, less inflammation, summer the way that it's supposed to feel. Brave Table listeners, you get $200 off with code BRAVE, which the link is in the show notes. Don't just clean up your habits this summer, clean up your air.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
That was a beautiful introduction. Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
well.
so secrets now.
Secrets, yes.
You are in your 50s.
I'm 52.
No way. And you
Yeah.
are glowing in all of the ways.
Thank you.
And you've never done Botox.
No.
Okay. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's start there.
Well, let's unpack it. I mean, should we villainize Botox?
No, absolutely not. In fact, personally feel there are a lot of things that are dividing women, and beauty choices shouldn't be one of them at all. So, each to their own. We all go through journeys. Whatever you want to do, we all have choices. I'm not here to tell women not to do Botox, not to do fillers, injectables, or whatever you want to do. I'm here to teach women um, all the aspects of feeling and looking beautiful so that you can take informed choices. At the end of the day, it's all about that.
Well, and you're also a mom.
Yes, I have a 25-year-old son.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well, I want to start at the root here because you say beauty isn't something to be fixed and it's something to be regulated and embodied. When did you first realize that beauty was a nervous system conversation and not a cosmetic one?
I went through my own journey. I did I did television for 15 years, a highly successful career in the Middle East. I actually pioneered the television industry among South Asians in 2005. There was no single television show that was produced here.
No way.
Yeah, so pretty much my TV show was the first one ever that came out of Middle East.
Wow.
That was a very successful show called High Life Dubai. And then I went on to launch my own production company. And at one point in time, I had almost 8 television shows on different channels, South Asian channels. That was Sony Entertainment Television, ZTV, and Colors Middle East, and all of those things. So while I was doing my, television career, I was, of course, living the life that I always wanted to and how I defined success. Living the high life, hobnobbing with celebrities, walking the red carpet, getting dressed by the designers, and, whatever I dreamt of as a little girl.
You were doing it all.
I was doing it all. I was receiving all the awards and accolades, and, of course, money came with it, and really loved living the life, the Dubai life, basically. But I knew after a few years of doing it, say almost a decade of doing it, there was something inside of me that was shifting, and that was impacting my overall well-being and my physical health. I started to see big pigmentation patches on my skin. My hair was falling out. I was not, I was always tired. I was always bloated. And there was something in me that was making me feel that I was moving away and walking away from myself. And you know the feeling when you're not yourself, when you're not centered, when you know that there's something that needs to change. And I knew at that time that though I was living a very successful life, the so-called success as society defines it, I knew I had to redefine success for myself, and that was a powerful journey for me. And that's when I realized I had to, do things differently. I started incorporating really small changes. I started to do breath work, meditation, started to really see what was going inside my body, not just in terms of food, but also what I was consuming, the kind of people I was surrounded I started to really take responsibility of how I was living. And within 6 months, I started to see the impact of it, in terms of my energy, my mood, my skin, my hair.
So within 6 months, things started to
Reverse. And I knew at that time it was all associated with my nervous system because all of those small practices were giving me the opportunity to have balanced nervous system, to not react to life but respond to life.
Because if you were at the heyday doing 8 shows and being at all of the events and
You can imagine.
all of the things and, up late at night, but waking up, and then also you're a mom, and I'm sure your kids were probably younger.
Yeah, much younger.
And so it probably just was.
Yeah, I was running on fumes. I didn't know that. But you don't know that when you're loving to do what you do, and especially with women who are driven, you don't know when you've crossed the limit. You're just going after doing it because you love it,
Well, isn't it also that old adage of like, okay, she's a type A woman, she can get it done.
She can get it done, yeah.
It's totally fine.
I thought that about myself too, that I could do it. I just, I'm good at it. I could do it. But body, is always telling you, and it's talking to you. You have to just sit and listen.
So what was that pivotal moment where you then decided?
So after these 6 months, I knew that I had to, do something that will keep my nervous system balanced, because I was already in my mid-30s by then, or maybe late 30s. Perimenopause, and I knew there were things that were changing. I couldn't continue with the career that was impacting my health. No success has to come at a cost of your well-being, And I was really on top of the game, and I knew it was a very difficult decision for me at that time to take, to consolidate everything and get into something that was not really an industry at that time, health and wellness. I'm talking about 12, 15 years back.
Wow. Especially here.
Especially here. And so I consolidated my television business. I kept one of my TV shows, brought that to YouTube. That time, even the digital world was not what it is now. So I continued doing the Uma show on YouTube.
Wow. And it's done successfully well.
Very well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I love doing it. I love creating content because it's, it comes very naturally to me. And then I also wanted to get into something that will be more fulfilling for me. And spiritually, I thought that I was doing a lot with my throat chakra, and I wanted to do something with touch. That's the whole transition that I went through. It was also a message that I got when I went through a plant medicine journey, that was something that I was meant to do now in this lifetime.
Excellent.
And so I, got into health and wellness full time. I started coaching a lot of women who were busy like me, who were either entrepreneurs or in the corporate jobs. And I realized they were mostly having skin issues, because at the end of the day, skin is the extension of everything that's happening inside of you, outside of you. Anything that is happening, will show up on your skin. And if by the time it shows up on your skin, that means it's been manifesting for a long time inside of your body. And so I went ahead and became a skin coach, and then started to learn a lot of these holistic beauty modalities, and started to give a solution to women, not just in terms of their diet, but mental well-being, and also, face yoga, face massage, facial reflexology, all of these things, and how you can create rituals around it to not only look youthful, but feel youthful. At the end of the day, it's all about how you feel about yourself.
Well, and I want to get into that because, as we're talking about burnout, identity, and, a lot of things you had to unlearn. And I can only imagine if you were at that precipice in the intersection of, all the things that you've ever wanted, and you get to the height of that mountain, and then you realize, okay, that's not really what you wanted.
It was one of the toughest journeys of my life. At that time, I was also personally going through a personal journey of going through a divorce. And then while I was transitioning into a new career, I also got remarried. So you can just imagine that your career is changing, your personal life is changing. I'm just getting goosebumps right now talking about. I don't even know how I got through that phase and have reached where I've reached today, because it was hard.
Of course. Oh, yeah. just building, going up the next mountain again.
Yeah.
But I feel like if anybody, you've been able to do it over and over again. And I feel like congratulations, because you're here and we're sitting here right now. And you've amassed such a beautiful, not only online presence, but you've created schools, education, where we're talking now about pro-aging. And let's be honest, face yoga is having its field day. So let's talk about that, because I was just in LA and now, you know, there's like these face yoga places all over. And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't this what my, you know, the nannies and the daddies, every time I'd go to India, like they would be doing stuff on their face and just like the massaging. So let's talk about that.
Well, anything to do with holistic beauty modalities is removing stagnation from your facial muscles, because aging happens when everything is stagnant. That's lymph fluids, circulation of all kinds, nutrients not reaching, the surface level. And that stagnation really makes the aging process faster. So whether it's a face yoga or face massage or facial cupping, facial reflexology is really opening up these pathways for the circulation to happen efficiently. And when you start doing that regularly, obviously you start to see results in every which way, in terms of your skin quality, in terms of lifting those muscles, training those muscles, how you express yourself. All of those things really impact the way your face is aging. And that is exactly what I teach through all my medium and through my academy, Pro Age Aesthetics Academy. In fact, there we teach professionals a particular kind of face massage with buccal massage, the intraoral massage, that can really have huge impact on you. Even from first session, you can really feel it. We also carry a lot of the emotional stagnation. Everything gets stuck on a cellular level. All our issues get stuck in our tissues.
Okay, so I want to really double click on that buccal massage, because I feel like anything that's pertaining to the face, where we hold a lot of tension, and the emotions that we can't really express because somebody slighted us or somebody said something, and we're supposed to keep this kind of good girl mentality, and so we suppress it, we squash it, we like clench our teeth. We clench, but then put a smile on our face. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Every emotion that you suppress and you're thinking, oh, I just want to be calm, is impacting the way your face is aging.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because everything gets stuck on a cellular level. So you may not realize it, but it's there. And body keeps scores. We know that. And that's why sometimes, I'm sure you must have gone through it. You've met a friend who's just gone through a separation, or who's just gone through a very intense period or grieving. You see that they've suddenly aged. Or you meet a friend who's just fallen in love and they're glowing. Because every emotion impacts the way our body and our skin, our face is behaving. And we hold on to that tension, and that starts to show up in different ways. And TMJ actually is the place where we store a lot of these kind of emotions, and that tightness really impacts how our face is aging. And that's how we see suddenly that the face is getting tired, it's looking droopy, we start to have jowls, double chin. All of those things is because of the tension that we have here. TMJ is also very, very connected to our hip joints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very much so. Body is interconnected. And we know the role of fascia and the connective tissue network that we have, that really stores a lot of our unprocessed emotions. And over time, it starts to show up in our posture, the way we walk, the way we talk, and that really impacts the way our face ages. So all of these things are so interconnected and so important. I do posture exercises every single day, and that really keeps my face the way it is because posture really interferes with the way our face is aging.
No, wait, so it's not just
it's not
just our face.
It's not just our face. Body is fully interconnected, and it's mind, body, and soul. You're doing all of these practices, but inside of you, you're not feeling good about it. You're in an abusive relationship, or you have, you don't have any boundaries. Those will start to show up. you know.
So in your classes and even on your YouTube channel, which I feel like you have so much content. I feel like it's like a encyclopedia for
love
facial
it, yeah.
aesthetics. Now, if somebody's watching this right now and they're like, okay, what is the first few things that I can get started on? And perhaps even what are the things that I'm doing wrong?
You know, the answer is very simple, but at the same time, nobody thinks about it. The first thing, if you have not done anything to do with holistic beauty, the first thing you can start doing is breathe consciously. Breathing is so powerful, and it instantly balances your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. And that really is an important part of how our face is aging. So if you've not started anywhere, just start breathing consciously for 5 to 10 minutes every day. And then get into any form of meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be sitting at one place, you know, close your eyes, not think about any thoughts. That's not meditation, but anything that brings you back to your present moment. Whether it's walking, whether dancing or, you know, singing, whatever, cooking, do more of that, because that will keep you out of your head in your body.
Yeah.
And that's so important. Those are the two things start with. And then start touching yourself intentionally. I feel people don't really touch themselves intentionally. When was the last time you really touched your skin and spoke to your skin? What is it saying to you? You know?
Yeah.
We
The
don't
sensuality
focus-
that we have for
you know, feel it, feel your
ourselves.
skin, feel your skin on the face, feel your skin on the scalp, the back of your neck, and then little, you know, little massage, little removing all those stagnation, just slowly add these things into your rituals and you will start to feel differently.
because
And
it's more
then-
embodied.
It's more embodied. And then get into, you know, doing 10 minutes of face yoga, face massage, facial reflexology. Of course, always get trained by professionals because you know the right way of doing it, because there's just so much content right now. So you don't even know what's right, what's wrong. But it's really not complex. It's very simple. Once you understand the science behind it, you will be able to really add that into your beauty rituals on a daily basis and see the results. Take your before and after picture. It's very motivating to see what you did on the 1st of Jan and the 31st of Jan and see the difference, and then you'll be motivated to continue doing it. Your skin looks different. You will feel differently. You know, it's not just about fixing things. It's about really, you know, feeling things.
Yeah.
You know, feel yourself. I feel like in today's day and age, we've gotten so disconnected with our own self. That's why it's so easy to fall into some ad that is selling an injectable, a laser, or this and that, because you're so disconnected from yourself. You don't even know what your skin requires right now. And then you're going to fix something that may not require fixing, that only requires understanding.
Right. It's almost like, you know, I think the thing that you're looking at to fix the thing that perhaps maybe you have an insecurity on, or you're not
Or it's
feeling
sold
as-
to you.
and it's sold to you because you're seeing the lack in yourself and you're kind of placing it for somebody else to fix that lack for you. And, you know, what does it look like to lead an age from a calm authority like yourself, instead of hustle or fear nowadays?
You know, I lived a life where I hustled a lot, you know. And when I got into this industry, I very well knew I'm an entrepreneur at heart. If my business is not generating revenue, it's not interesting for me. So I'm very focused on that. But at the same time, I wanted to work differently this time. I didn't want to hustle. You know, I have a 2-hour long morning ritual. I do it every single day and then start my day. Even if I'm traveling, I do that. I wake up in the morning and I will have my ritual before I start my day, because it's very important for me to be present every minute with what I'm doing and engaging 100%. Right now, I'm with you. I'm 100% here and I'm enjoying it so much more than I would do 15 years back, because I would have something else going on in my mind, you know? And so I feel like getting away from that, redefining it actually for yourself, because hustle, being busy, being productive was told to us being successful. I have redefined that for myself. I need time for myself, but I'm yet reaching the expected revenue goal every year in my business by not hustling and doing what I was doing and not enjoying. I'm enjoying doing it so much more now. And that's how.
Well, and I think that, that's a beautiful point to make. So for so many women who, feel like that the other way, the one that we've all been taught, and they're kind of at this precipice and juncture, and they're watching this right now, and we're talking about, pro-aging, but also, this permission that you're giving them. What have you noticed within yourself of leading business this way as a founder of a beauty, company? But also somebody who's walked the path of like a very masculine side of things.
It was so hard actually to rest without guilt. And it's been such a big journey for me because resting for me had so much guilt attached to it. I could not really slow down. It was always to fulfill my to-do list. So it's been a journey for me, and I know it is a journey for most women, because if you've been in the corporate world or the male-dominated industry that I was in, media, there was so much focus on performance all the time, very masculine, as you said. But coming into the flow of the feminine and still be doing and achieving things that you want to is all about unlearning.
I love that. And so now you're stepping into a new chapter, scaling your business and beginning the journey of writing a book.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, what feels essential for you to transmit this in this next phase? And what are you hoping that people would get out of, this whole industry of now pro-aging?
I really want to help women redefine beauty for themselves. I feel the definition of beauty was always given to us. It wasn't defined by us. And this book should be empowering women to redefine beauty for themselves, because it's very individual. If there are 10 women right now here and I ask them to write the definition of beauty for themselves, it'll be 10 different definitions.
Yeah.
There is no standard beauty. There's no standard for beauty, actually. It's what we create. And I want this book to be able to help women to redefine that for themselves, for the society, for the young girls, for our next generation. Because you see, they're not competing with another woman anymore. They're competing with filters.
Yeah. And of course, these AI generated photos.
And that's hard. That's hard to go through that. So I want women to be empowered enough to really take control of that definition and not get manipulated and controlled by the media industry, the marketing industry, or the beauty industry that's selling us, a narrative of fixing ourselves. There's nothing to fix, there's nothing to fix. We're all different, and we all have pros and cons. We all have, things that are strengths and weaknesses. We need to work around it. We all do.
And, this whole era of, pro-aging as kind of this is misunderstood in many ways of seeing as, okay, giving up. I see a lot of women who are now they're like going gray fully and embracing that balayage with the grayness. How do you define aging with agency, and why does it require more authority?
That's such a good question. Some women carry those grays very well. I don't think I'll be able to. I have grays and I color them. So there are certain things that I still do, and that is absolutely fine. Nobody can tell me, oh, you're not doing this, but you're doing that. I have veneers in my teeth, which I absolutely love. It makes me smile more.
They look great.
So that's why it is so important to define beauty for yourself. This is who I am. This is what makes me feel good. And that authority and that agency is very, very important, that you keep it with yourself. Nobody is coming and telling you, if you do this, you're good. If you're not doing this, you're not good enough. I'm good enough the way I am, So, each to their own. But pro-aging is not about not looking your best. It's not about giving up on life. It's really all about still feeling your best in terms of feeling confident, having high self-esteem, being connected to yourself, being grounded, centered, and putting your best foot forward. Still, pro-aging doesn't mean that you stop taking care of yourself.
So you said you have a 2-hour ritual.
Yes.
So for women who probably have maybe 10 minutes, what would be like the non-negotiable things that you would have them do?
I will definitely have it. This is how I started because I didn't have time before, or I didn't create time for myself. And so, firstly, everyone can create space for them at least half an hour in the morning before you start. Start with breath work and start with meditation. Even if you're doing 2 minutes each, it's fine. Just centering yourself is so important. Very, very important. Sets the tone for the entire day. Yeah, so those two things. And then I would really encourage women to start something that where they touch themselves intentionally, do a little bit of face massage, face yoga, a little bit of whatever, if you're doing facial gua sha, something to do with getting back to your body from your head, because we are too much in our heads, so these are the, maybe few small things that you can do that can really make a huge difference. And then another thing is that I truly believe having caffeine first thing in the morning can really interfere with your gut health. So have something else before that.
Okay.
I'm a big proponent of green juice. That's the first thing that I have, and then I have my caffeine, and that is really made a huge difference in terms of gut health is everything, and take care of that. Mental well-being is everything. If you're not feeling good in a space where you are at, if you can't change the space, change your perception towards it and have rituals that can really build you stronger, to go, not to look at life as if life is not happening to you, but life is happening for you. And for that you need self-care rituals. You need practices, you need journaling, you need a lot of these small things that you can do that can strengthen you mentally and emotionally. As women, I feel we need that all the time. And I also feel as women, we need rituals. And that's why we've had rituals from thousands of years in every, whatever ancient culture you go back and you look at.
I mean, the Abhyanga is such a ritual.
Exactly. We need to move that energy out of our body, and that's why we need to do rituals. That's why sometimes I feel traditional therapy does not work for women, just talking. You need to ritualize things. You need to move your body. You need to have lighting a little candle, incense, and
just the sacredness and the essence of making, of kind of, creating the beauty.
Like we made this tea, and it's like, it's just ritualizing these small things. It just, don't go for the phone, ritualize your day. It's just so beautiful.
True. It's so true. And you've done this so beautifully. How can people get, just a taste of what you're creating next, and how can they follow you?
Well, I am very active on Instagram, Uma Ghosh, and my YouTube channel, which is the Uma Show. I recently launched my membership, which is called the Alchemy Ritual Atrium, because I felt that a course here and there was not helping women the way I would like to help them. So now they can become a part of it. They can become come into my inner circle, become a part of my WhatsApp group, and we are constantly sharing things there. And that platform is very robust. We have weekly updates, videos, I do lives, a lot of things that's happening. There are a lot of recorded videos already. So you can find me there, or just reach out to me on Instagram. There's lots more that is coming up. But at the same time, as I said, I'm very conscious about organically growing things and not hustling and reaching somewhere. I want to enjoy the journey, and journey is very important than the destination.
Now we're on that topic. Can I share my best kept secret as a mama who travels? Okay, you know that feeling after a long flight, right? Puffy, inflamed, completely off, like your body's been wrung out and put back together slightly wrong. The jet lag, the disrupted sleep, the skin that looks exhausted by the time you arrive. Look, I used to push. I used to just hydrate, caffeine up, and push through. And then I found my red light therapy, and it has literally been giving life and glowing skin. Specifically, my Rejuve device. It is a mini travel compact device that I literally cannot travel without it anymore. Last year when we were traveling back to the US, I brought it with me. The kids got sick. I got sick multiple times. Here's what's actually happening on a plane. You're hit with radiation, recirculated air, low oxygen, and hours of sitting that spikes inflammation throughout your body. No wonder you're sick. Your circadian rhythm gets confused. Your cells literally slow down the repair process. Red light therapy works at a cellular level. To reverse that, it reduces the inflammation, jumpstarts your body's natural recovery, and it supports melatonin production. So when you land, your sleep resets, and it gives your skin and tissues a signal to repair fast. So definitely check this out. Go ahead and head over to rejuve.com. The link is in the show notes. And now let's get back to the show.
It's so refreshing to hear, especially I feel like when, there is this matrix where so many people are kind of, teetering on the side of, I want to get more into my feminine, but then I know what I've been trained has been kind of in this masculine mode of the doing. And you have been such a big, embodiment of that to integrate both. And it's so present. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you will see Uma. She's just such a grounded, anchoring presence. And I feel your aura is just so at peace. And of course, it's a testament to who you are. So on that note, I want to switch gears a little bit and get into our Spill the Chai round.
Okay.
So we are drinking Focus Flow Chai today. And
Let me take a sip.
yes. And it's we're having a little bit throughout our conversation.
It's actually very delicious. I love it.
Thank you. Yes. It's well, I mean, it is grounded in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So it's one of those anchoring things that I feel like has been a ritual for me. But I want to get into, so what is your take on the face massage, those vibrator things that we get on like TikTok that's gone viral versus the traditional gua shas or like the Kansa wands?
Well, any day traditional gua sha. I feel the whole ritual that comes with it is more impactful than just taking something that's just vibrating.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah.
What is one word that describes your relationship with aging right now?
Pro-aging. I would say, if not pro-aging, which is obviously my company's name, but I would say embodiment. I'm loving to be in my 50s, honestly. I feel like it's the best decade. I feel so connected to myself. I feel so much more me than I have ever felt.
This is great to know. So a facial or a massage? Massage. Okay. What is one practice or ritual that is elevating your life currently?
Currently.
That you can't live without?
Apart from everything else. My tea ritual.
Yeah.
And I'm not plugging your tea in here, but it's, I mean, I love your tea, but I love teas.
Yeah.
I'm a very tea person. So, making that tea, brewing it and sipping on the tea is just, it's such a beautiful thing to do. And a funny thing to share, I actually carry my own tea, my own kettle, the entire tea set, my cup when I travel. That's the first thing I pack. So wherever I am, any hotel room, I do my tea ritual.
Same.
Yeah?
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I created it for myself. But I would carry all the tinctures and the powders, and now obviously I made one so that everything can be in one.
And
that was the whole thing, because I feel like if that's the one thing that brings you back home to center. So ladies, find that thing. It doesn't have to be chai or tea. I mean, it could be
anything.
But it's just that one thing. And I remember there was a time where we were traveling so much. I think it was like 33 cities in 1 year. And the one thing that just kept me at home was my Palo Santo sticks, my incense sticks, and my concoctions of my chai that I had at the time.
I love it. Totally. In sense, I'm really into copal nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've
Oh, yeah.
been sourcing copal from Mexico and burning that at home, and it just makes me feel so good.
It's the
So
best.
good.
And it cleans the energy. And so what are you currently braving right now?
What am I currently braving right now is not, I still have moments where I'm like, let's do all of these things, launch a skincare brand, launch this, launch that. And then I have to bring myself back to and embody who I am right now. So I'm still braving not being a hustler. It's still, I feel like the part of it is still there. Because there's so many opportunity that comes to you and you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. But so I'm braving that.
Yeah. The discernment that comes with it.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, Uma, I want to just say thank you so much for who you are and everything that your glow and the way that you pour into community. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with our audience before we end our conversation today?
I feel the only thing I want to share that it was such a good experience sitting here and talking to you because I felt it was so authentic. Authenticity is very big for me. And I felt like you really show up in all your, being. And thank you for being who you are too. Thank you. But thank you for seeing me and I see you.
Awesome. Well, I received that fully from one queen to another. It was such an amazing conversation and you really are a testament of embodiment. So thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, you guys, I don't know about you, but I am lit, especially with all of the gems Uma has been dropping. So definitely you might want to join all of the offerings that she has. The Alchemist, like that sounds amazing. Her pro-aging company, definitely check her out on YouTube. I will link everything in the show notes. And how beautiful can it be when we actually get permission to be ourselves and reclaim that for ourselves and take that for ourselves. And no matter what season you're in, if you're in the season of the busyness of motherhood, we see you, totally understand. But what if you have that 10 minutes to caress yourself, adorn yourself, maybe do a simple abhyanga or have that ritual of maybe doing a face massage yoga move that you've probably just recently got from just going on Uma's YouTube channel because she has a lot of content there. So don't be shy. And you can definitely connect with her on Instagram as well. If you're watching this on YouTube and if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? We are bringing more and more guests like this every single day, and it helps us so much grow the show and get this in the hands of more and more people. If you are listening to this on iTunes and Spotify, there's that little like button on the top. You can just click a thumbs up and it helps us get into the hands of more people who need this conversation more than ever. And friends and fam, share this with a mama, somebody that needs to be a little bit more brave with their aging. And thank you so much for being here week after week. It really, really warms my heart that our community is growing so big and globally. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to be just a little bit more brave.